and welcome to the second part of our tutorial for T0002, which is going to elaborate a little bit further on using the command keys to navigate around in 3D wireframe mode for DFX Med or Xtasy Med. And it is a bit of a learning curve sometimes, I feel, for people to understand this. It took me a while to come to terms with it as well a little bit. But let's start by having a look at our wireframe view. And if we select wireframe and we have a look, pretty much we can't see anything apart from a red line, which is a leveling line. So let's highlight one of our objects. In this case it's the cargo container. Have a look in the wireframe view, and now we can see that is centered at the moment in our map. If it wasn't centered in our map, we could press the T key, which is the top-down view key, look to see where we see our cargo container, and use the just ordinary numeric keypad number 2 to level it out again on the horizontal plane. So now that we can see that, we can press the plus key on the numeric keypad to zoom in. And one of the things to be aware of is that this item, as we can see, is highlighted as yellow. So if we go off our 3D wireframe view and we have a look, our cargo container is selected as yellow. So in order to see anything in wireframe view, it has to be selected. So another, we'll unselect all there. Another feature set that we have is we can use the shift and hold the shift key and hold down your left mouse key and drag it. You'll see there's a blue line that comes around. When you release your left mouse key, it has selected all of those items. And when we go to the 3D wireframe view, we can see that the player start marker is the one that is highlighted. And if we zoom out a little bit more, we can see our cinder blocks. And if we press the control key and hold down our right mouse key, we can move the entire play level up and down at will. So we're pressing the 5 key to center it. Now, if I want to move my little player start marker up or down, I can do that by Control, Shift, and using the up arrow or down arrow key. Control, Shift, up arrow, down arrow key. And it's shifting the start player because that was the item that was selected first. Selected last. So if we go back into our wireframe view, unselect everything, and in this case what we're wanting to do is move our second container. So we can select our first container, our player start marker, and in this case, now being the last item selected, the container on the right, we go into 3D view, wireframe view, will be the one that is selected. So we want to move that wire container wireframe version up. So Control, Shift, up arrow, 1, 2, 3. In this case, because it's the same object, level heights will be exactly the same. Okay, I need to move the object left or right. So that's the Control key and left or right arrow key. So Control key, left or right arrow key. And now I have what appears to be the cargo container sitting on the very top. So, is it sitting on the top exactly? Let's press the T key, so T for top, to have a top-down view. And I can see in this case, yes, the cargo container is sitting in the top view. So we're in this top view. We want to now go back to seeing it on a level plane. So use your numeric keypad 2, okay, and we can rotate it down till it's back to a level plane again. If we use the 8 key, it does the reverse. So numeric keypad and the 2 key to bring it back to that particular spot. Now, the last item that we had was our cinder block, and at the moment we can't see it there, so we'll go back from wireframe view, click on wireframe again to our standard view, and here is our cinder block. We select the cinder block so it is now yellow, and all we're going to do is go back to wireframe view, there it is, and zoom out a little bit more, and Control Shift up arrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Control left arrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and just to make sure that it seems and appears that we've got it on a level basis there, we'll press our T key on the keyboard, and yes, our cinder block is pretty much dead center of the cargo container. Now, having said that, we could also unselect or select just the cinder block, using the move option. We can move it further up the cargo container. In this case, I'm putting it up top left, wireframe view, and remembering that we've only got the select all of the items and deselect cinder block, reselect it again to make sure it's going to be the highlighted item. We're looking in our top-down view, zoom out a little bit, everything seems to be fine. We'll use the numeric keypad number 2 to bring us back to a level playing field, and we can see that it's still a little bit high. We'll bring it down once using Control Shift down arrow, and then Shift arrow up, using Shift arrow up to make it small increments. So it lines up and they're both there. And that's pretty much all we had to do to get our commands up and running, using the minus key to zoom out again, using the numeric keypad 5 key just to center it. Now in the case of centering, obviously at the moment it's going to try and center on the cinder block. If we wanted to get all our items together, we go back out of wireframe, unselect all ago, and this time we'd select the container. So our cargo containers, where we are now zooming into. Select. And I'll throw in one other little item on this one just to give you an idea on something, and that is Edit Insert Mode. You can do the same on your own demonstration map. Let's put a piece of foliage in there, and I'm looking for pretty much a tree, bush. Oh, there's a palm grove. Now, when we insert that in to the map, if you like, I need to rotate it around a little bit, so in case you didn't see, right click, group rotate, OK, and now I want to move it across to the left a bit. Now, when we go into select all again, using our shift key, select all, and then deselect our trees, then select them, then have a look on wireframe view. We've got something slightly different going on here. We can see that there is some red and blue. Now, what essentially that's indicating is that the collision mode is happening where the item is red, and where it's in blue, it's essentially below ground. So if we use our numeric keypad in 6 to rotate around our field of view, see that seems to be all okay. All of the trees are in the ground, so there's nothing. If I use Control Shift and up, trees would be floating in the air. So by having them underground, that won't be the case. Now, the reason it's showing a bit of red is to show the difference between the stem of the tree and the actual branches, if you like. So just using the 4 key on the numeric keypad to cycle around, make sure that everything's okay there. I'll then use the T for top-down view to make sure that everything is okay there. And there doesn't appear to be anything collisioning with our containers, so all of that should be okay. And just using the numeric keypad and 2 key to bring us back down to the level. Rotate left, rotate right using the 4 and 6 key. So now we've added a little bit more atmosphere to the map. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this additional second part of the lesson for T0002-1 on using the 3D wireframe mode. Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget, you can find this tutorial, the work files, and others at k9wolfpack.com.au. If you liked the training, please select like in YouTube. Thanks again.